Hello everyone. So last time we discussed about the various applications of Bernoulli's equation, okay, like Venturi meter, orifice meter, and petard tubes. Today we are going to start a new topic which is orifices and mouthpieces. Okay. So what are these orifices and mouthpieces? Basically, orifices and mouthpieces are both are used to measure the rate of flow of liquid, like Venturi meter and orifice meter. Okay. So we will start from orifices and then we will discuss about mouthpieces. So what is orifice? Orifice is a small opening of any cross section. Okay, it is a small opening of any cross section. It may be circular, triangular, rectangular. Okay, it may be of any shape. On the it is where it is situated. It is situated either in the sides of the tank or on the bottom of the tank from which fluid is flowing. Suppose we have a tank here. Here is a tank. So where is orifice? This orifice is fixed. Here it is fixed. Okay, here there will be orifice. Okay, it may be of circular shape, maybe of a triangular shape, it may be of square shape, it may be of rectangular shape, or maybe it fitted at the bottom of the tank. Okay, so this is called as orifice. Okay, one more term is introduced here, which is mouthpiece. What is mouthpiece? Mouthpiece is a short length of pipe which is 2 to 3 times its diameter in length. Okay, here it is a hole, orifice is a hole. Okay, but is mouthpiece is a small pipe which is fitted to the tank, like here small pipe whose this length is equal to 2 to 3 times its diameter. Okay, if it is small d is the dia of this pipe, then this length is equal to 2 to 3 times its dia. Okay, this is the major difference between orifice and mouthpieces. It may be asked in exams, what is the difference between orifice and mouthpieces. Both are used to measure rate of flow of a fluid. Okay, so now we will discuss about the classification of orifices. Okay, the orifices are basically classified on the different criteria like shape, its nature, okay, its shape of upstream edge, and its size. Okay, first of all we study about the based on the classification based on size. So look here, suppose we have tank here. Okay, and water is filled here. Here is the orifice. Okay, from the center of this orifice some water is present above it. Okay, the water which is present about it, it is known as head, which we denote it as h. So on the base of size, how we can classify it? See, if the head of the liquid from the center of the orifice, okay, this head from the center of the orifice is more than 5 times the depth of the orifice, 5 times this depth of the orifice, okay, then it is known as small orifice. Then it is called as small orifice. And if the case is reversed, what happened? If the head of the liquid, this head is less than the 5 times the depth of the orifice, then it is known as large orifice. Okay, this is the major difference between the two. So classification on based on shape. On the basis of shape, these orifices are classified as circular shape. It may be of square shape, it may be of triangular shape, and it may be of rectangular shape. Okay. Now next comes the shape of upstreaming edge. On the base classification based on shape of upstreaming edge, it is of two types, which is sharp edge orifice and bell mouth orifice. Okay. Now move on to our next classification, which is based on nature of discharge. So on the basis of nature of discharge, there are two types of orifices: free discharging orifices and drown or submerged orifices. Okay. Now the submerged orifices are further classified into fully submerged and partially submerged orifices. So we will discuss one by one all of them. So first of all, we study about flow through an orifice. Okay, flow through an orifice. So see here. So to determine the flow through an orifice, let us consider a cylindrical tank in which orifice is fitted. We consider two sections here. One section is at 1 and one section is at 2. One section is within the tank and two section is outside the tank. When the liquid in this tank is flow through this orifice, it will form the shape of the Z. It will flow in the form of a Z. Okay, because it is a large area from here, large area when it is flowing to a small area, it will reach out in the form of Z. Okay, let us consider two sections here, 1 and 2. So here I already told you in orifice meter, when a liquid is flowing through an orifice, what happens? This jet, you can say, is contract to some minimum area, and the area where it is minimum, where it has minimum cross section, it is known as vena contracta. Okay, it is known as vena contracta. Now what happened? We apply Bernoulli's equations on both these sections. So what is Bernoulli's equation? P1 upon rho g plus P1 square upon rho g plus Z1 is equal to P2 upon rho g plus V2 square upon rho g plus Z2. Now see, here is the datum. The bottom of the tank here is datum. So the distance of the point section 1 and section 2 both, that is this distance and this distance is same. So Z1 and Z2 gets cancelled to each other. Okay, one thing is more, here you can see, here the velocity is a v1 and here velocity is v2, and see here at section 1 it is within the tank. So in the tank the water is in the still conditions, although it is flowing through this orifice, but the velocity here is almost negligible, or you can say velocity here is, the velocity here is 0. So v1 here is 0. Okay, one more thing, what is head? I already told you what is it. Suppose here is the orifice and from this center, the height of this water above it, it is known as head above this orifice. So P1 upon rho g is known as flow energy, or you can, it is also known as head. Okay, so here in case of section 1, what is head? Head is equal to h, and in case of section 2, head is equal to P1, yeah, that is P2 upon rho g, it is equal to what? It is equal to 0, because there is no water above it and it is under atmospheric pressure. So there will be no head over it. It is equal to 0. If we put all these values in Bernoulli's equation, what we will get? See here. We will finally obtain this value, that is V2. Velocity at section 2 is under root 2gh. This is theoretical velocity. And I already told you actual velocity is less than this theoretical velocity due to some losses. Okay, now we will discuss about the various hydraulic coefficients which we using in orifice meter, venturi meters. Okay, that is like coefficient of discharges, coefficient of velocity, coefficient of contraction. So we will discuss one by one all of them. First of all, we will study about coefficient of velocity. Okay, what is coefficient of velocity? Coefficient of velocity is the ratio of actual velocity upon theoretical velocity. Theoretical velocity we already determined here, which is under root 2gh. Okay, so actual velocity, this is, if we denote actual velocity with a and theoretical actual velocity with cv, actual velocity with v, and theoretical velocity with under root 2gh, we can easily obtain the coefficient of velocity, that is cv. Remember this ratio, that is cv is equal to actual velocity of z at vena contractor to the theoretical velocity, or you can say actual velocity upon theoretical velocity. Now, this value of C is generally varies between 0.595 to 0.99. In numericals, normally this value is not given to you. So you have to remember this value. In case it is not given, you can easily assume it in the question. Okay. So one thing, now next comes the important topic, which this is topic is important, which is determination of coefficient of velocity by jet method. Okay. In this method, what we considered a tank. Okay. And we suppose we take a liquid particle, and from, we suppose that from here point 1 it flows to point B. Okay, you know, when the jet is flowing through it, it will form a parabolic shape, it will tend to go downward direction. So we take we take at one point this liquid particle at 1, and then at point B. Okay, you can see from the diagram here, here it is shown, it is cylindrical tank, a orifice meter is fitted, and at vena contracta I considered liquid particle, and at time interval t, suppose in a time interval t it reaches to point P. Okay, so what we will do, first of all, let this distance which is traveled by the liquid particle from this point to this is x, and the vertical distance is y, that is vertical distance between P and CC. That is this Banner-Contractor section. Now, how can we obtain this vertical distance, horizontal distance x? As you know that velocity is equal to distance upon time. So distance is equal to velocity into time. Here distance is equal to x, and v is the actual velocity which is at Banner-Contractor. So from here you can easily write this as x is equal to v into t. And how we can obtain this vertical distance? In 10th standard, you know that you study about the second law of motion, which is equal to h is equal to ut plus 1 by 2 at square. At this, we are considering here the vertical distance. So we are not going forward. So velocity here will be 0. So 0 into t plus 1 by 2 gt square. From here we obtain the value of y. Okay. Now from the horizontal distance we obtained x, we can find out t as x is equal to v into t. From here we obtain t is equal to x upon v. Okay, put this value of t in equation second, which is y, vertical distance, it is 1 by 2 gt square, and after putting the value we obtain the value of actual velocity, which is v. Okay, further what you will do, and theoretical velocity we already know that is equal to under root 2 gh. Okay, and the coefficient of velocity is equal to actual velocity upon theoretical velocity. Actual velocity is obtained from here and theoretical velocity is obtained from here. If we put these all these values, and we finally obtain this formula, that is x upon under root 4gh. Okay, this is the jet method by which we can determine the coefficient of velocity. This is very important. Okay, now next comes the coefficient of discharge. Coefficient of discharge is the ratio of actual discharge upon theoretical discharge. As I told you that the discharge is equal to what? Area into velocity. So here actual discharge upon theoretical discharge, so here it is actual velocity into actual area, and similarly theoretical way, but theoretical velocity into theoretical area. So actual velocity upon theoretical area is velocity is equal to what? Cv, that is coefficient of velocity, and actual area upon theoretical area is equal to Cc, which we will discuss after this. What is coefficient? What is Cc? Okay. So how we determine this coefficient of discharge? Let us take a tank. Okay, and we fit the orifice meter in it, and what we will do, we take another tank here, and the water is flowing through this tank. When it starts to fill this tank, what happen? We measure the height of this tank. Okay, and also measure that this area of this tank from which the water is flowing, and orifice meter, no, orifice is fitted. Okay, not orifice meter. So how can we obtain the actual discharge? Actual discharge will become equal to area of measuring tank from where orifice is fitted, and the weight of the water in the measuring tank. Okay, firstly from where the water is collected, okay, from this tank water is collected in some measuring tank, we calculate the area of this tank and then multiply it with height. Okay, we will obtain the, and divide it with time, we will obtain the discharge. Okay, theoretical velocity we already know that the theoretical discharge is equal to what I told you many times now, area into velocity. It is means a theoretical area upon theoretical velocity. Theoretical velocity is already known to us, which is under root 2 gh, and theoretical area of orifice is, let us suppose area of is a. Now put the value of this actual discharge upon theoretical discharge into what? The coefficient of discharge, that is CD. We obtain the value as CD equal to Q A into under root 2GH. Now last hydraulic coefficient is coefficient of contraction. Okay, what is coefficient of contraction? Coefficient of contraction is the ratio of area of jet at one contractor to the area of orifice. Let us suppose that the area of jet at one contractor is AC, small AC, and area of orifice is A. So in this case CC becomes equal to AC upon A. Okay, these are the three hydraulic coefficients which you have to remember, which is coefficient of discharge, coefficient of velocity, and coefficient of contraction. Next time we will discuss about discharge through a large rectangular orifice and small rectangular orifice. Okay, till then, okay, thank you.